grew up doing synchronized swimming. So I swam from the age 11 all the way until I was 21. I did take a couple years off, and then I went back as a master's athlete. I competed at a national level. It was definitely my life for a long time. When I stopped swimming, I went to triathlons. And from there, I competed in a few local triathlons for about 2-3 years. And I loved the competing of it. The training was super monotonous for me. I would do like ab circuits and all that, but my strength really wasn't there. Hated training biking. I hated being on the road by myself. It was terrible. And then from there, I got really sick of it. When I was swimming, I was with a team. So you're with your friends essentially. So you're training with your friends. There's lots of fun that you're having. I never found anything that was similar to that before I transitioned to functional fitness. And then the community here, of course, is beyond belief. It's amazing, and that just made working out fun again. It kind of re-sparked that fire in me that it's not drag your ass to the gym and doing this because I have to. It's that fun aspect of it that makes you work even harder. My history is super up and down. It's definitely, I've been in parts of my life where I was super tiny. I've been at parts of my life where I was heavier, and I've always dealt with mental health stuff and addiction and eating issues, I guess. So I definitely can relate to people a lot with that and how nutrition is such a huge role. As I was growing up, I always dealt with depression and anxiety in some sort of way. In some sort of capacity, it was always there. I was also dealing with drug addiction, alcohol addiction, taking a lot of antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. My body was just all over the place. My mental space was not good whatsoever. And that's luckily around the time that I did find functional fitness, and it was still a struggle. I'm so grateful for this place and being here for me and the friendships I've made through here, because without it, I don't know where I would be today, to be quite honest. I was working at Lululemon, and through them, we got to try out fitness classes all over the Lower Mainland, really. There were a ton of different options that allowed drop-ins to come and try your first class. And through there, a bunch of my coworkers, my friends, we all planned to come to Rocky Point and try my first class, and it was tough. I've always really loved the feeling of pushing myself really hard and getting that end result of, okay, like I worked really hard, I feel really accomplished now. And instantly, my first class, I got that, and I was hooked on it. I would say 2 years, it was super up and down. I would disappear for weeks at a time. I would be super consistent and then fall off. It took me a while to gain, I guess, that confidence that I wanted to make the change, that I didn't want to live like that anymore. And it was tough. It was really, really hard. The positivity here was amazing, to see other people that were going through life, going through hard times and still showing up and working hard. And it definitely helped me find some belonging and meet some friends that I'll have my whole life. So it helped me start the process of bettering myself, getting myself back on track and finding some purpose again. So when I was doing triathlons, I really wasn't eating. I definitely was not feeling my body properly. I barely ate. I was really, really unhealthy, to be honest. Before I started with Rocky Point, I was really tiny. I was really small. It's probably about 115 pounds, so really small. When I first I started with Rocky Point and definitely gained some muscle, but also gained some fat as well. And then I probably got up to about 140 at my heaviest here. Definitely getting stronger, but was probably carrying around a lot of extra weight. I would say about 3 years into the strength training, functional fitness, I was probably the heaviest I've ever been. And I started asking myself the question of why. It's not all just muscle, it's something else that's going on that's making me gain weight, making me be this way. And then I started to take an honest look at my diet and how much it plays a role into body composition. Because of course I was definitely getting stronger, and my endurance still was there, all of that great stuff, but the way my body looked didn't really match my performance in the gym necessarily. So that's when I really took a step back to see how I could improve upon that to make it a little bit more balanced there. I'm so different now. I look back at the person that I used to be, especially when I first started, and I'm a completely different person. I honestly can't even believe how much I've changed over the last few years. It's pretty mind-blowing to think back on it. My overall confidence has gotten so much better. I actually love myself now. Before I truly hated myself, and just that change has been so huge. I went through a lot of, I guess you could say, self-discovery when I first got clean and sober. So going through that process just changed me inside and out, absolutely. It doesn't have to be like this anymore. I was in such a dark place for such a long time. I truly thought that it would never get better. I truly thought that I would always be this person that had no purpose in life whatsoever. So what's the point? And it took a long time to get to where I am today. A lot of hard work, but it does happen, and it's definitely a process, and just trusting the process and trusting that the little steps that you can take towards bettering yourself, it all pays off, and it can be such a better life.